What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on the Philadelphia 76ers. It is Sunday, February 18th, 2024. Today, I figured I'd come on here, talk a little bit of hoops with you guys. Considering the next 2 weekends for professional wrestling, we have the Elimination Chamber and we have Revolution coming up in the next 2 weekends. So I figured I'd give wrestling a back seat this week and talk about our Philadelphia 76ers, who are on a break because it's the NBA All-Star week. Tonight is the NBA All-Star game. Last night was probably one of the worst dunk contests I've ever seen. Steph Curry versus Sabrina stole the entire night. I thought that was awesome. Damian Lillard's the best three-point shooter in the NBA. And we're going to talk about the Sixers today. As they stand right now, just go over the first half of the season. You guys see the title. Why Sixers fans should be concerned going into the second half of the season. I, myself, as a Sixers fan, am very concerned. And the main reason that is, I will get into it more when we talk about it. But this team, who are the Philadelphia 76ers without Joel Embiid? I feel like this team does not have an identity to them. And I think that's holding them back. I don't know who they are. They feel missing without Joel Embiid. And obviously Joel Embiid being injured is not good for this team. It's going to make them dip in the standings. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to make it a quick video, 15 minutes about there. But yeah, this is the first Sunday without football. And I'm not going to lie, man, I'm kind of lost. You know, there's nothing going on today. There's not even basketball going on. Like, I don't mind sitting down watching a basketball game if it's a good game. There's no wrestling this weekend. Next 2 weekends, at least, there's Elimination Chamber. There's Revolution. I go to Florida in a couple weeks. And then we get into March Madness. And then that's when we get Sundays being productive. And then it'll all stop in the middle of April. But we'll still have baseball. So, I thank you guys so much for joining me. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. We are going to have some more content coming on along the way. As you guys know, it is WrestleMania season. I'm going to WrestleMania this year in Philadelphia. Stand and Deliver. 2 nights of WrestleMania. Going to be making vlogs for both of them. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet with Saturday. I know for sure there'll be a vlog on Sunday, but I don't know how Saturday's going to go with Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania. Got a long way to figure that out. I'm not even worried about that yet. I got so much lined up. Next week, we have Elimination Chamber. The following week, we have Revolution. And then the following weekend, I go to Florida. So, but without further ado, let's go talk about the 76ers. The last time I made a video talking about the 76ers, Joel Embiid dropped 70 points against the San Antonio Spurs. 70 points from Joel Embiid. And I feel like ever since then, ever since he dropped 70 against the Spurs, it's been downhill ever since. Joel Embiid's been dealing with a knee injury. They had that one game where, like, 20 minutes before tip-off against the Denver Nuggets, he was out with a knee injury. They don't play him against the Trailblazers. Tyrese Maxey doesn't play. They get absolutely mollywopped by the Blazers. The next night, Embiid plays against Golden State. He shouldn't have even played in that game. He did not look like the same Joel Embiid. It was really, really, really hard to watch that game, and he hasn't played since. And the Sixers went 1 of 5 on that road trip. The one win had to be a 50 bomb by Tyrese Maxey to beat the Utah Jazz. And now they're struggling. And I know that they got a win against the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road, which that was a great win this past Monday night for the Sixers. That was probably their best win, in my opinion, of this entire season, to be able to go on the road without Joel Embiid, Nick Batum, Tobias Harris, and beat that team who's really good. That was a great win. That was a great win for the 76ers. But now they lose to the Miami Heat, and everything comes back down to earth. So at the All-Star break, the Sixers have a 32-22 record. 32 wins, 22 losses. Right now, this is how the Eastern Conference stands. The Boston Celtics are in first place by a wide margin. They got a 6-game lead over the Cavaliers. So then the second seed is the Cavaliers. They are 36-17. Then there's like a 3-team race between 3 and 5, and that's where the Sixers are right now. You got the Milwaukee Bucks, the Knicks, and the 76ers. So right now, the 76ers, and they're 2 games ahead of the Pacers for the 6th seed. They're not far away from potentially being a play-in team. And I'm telling you right now, I would not be shocked if come April, we are talking about the Philadelphia 76ers in the play-in tournament. I would not be shocked about that whatsoever. But it's hard because I just don't trust this team. From what's happened the past 3 years with the Sixers, many more than 3 years, I don't trust them. And Embiid, I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I know that he's getting operated again on March 1st, I think the report said. But it's going to take a while for him to gel with like the new players on the team. Think about it. Buddy Hield has came in for the Philadelphia 76ers, right? The Sixers traded 2 second-round picks, Marcus Morris and Furkan Korkmaz, who are both free agents right now, for Buddy Hield. And I would say Buddy Hield has been playing really good for the Philadelphia 76ers ever since he's came in. I've liked what I've seen from Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is a bucket, and Buddy Hield does more than shoot threes. But Buddy Hield is playing great without Joel Embiid. How is he going to impact? How is he going to play for the Sixers with Joel Embiid when Joel Embiid does come back and play for the Philadelphia 76ers? See, I'm all for resting Embiid until the playoffs start. But at the same time, I don't want them to rest Embiid until the playoffs. I need to see Embiid before the playoffs because I need to see the new players be able to gel and get chemistry going with Joel Embiid. I need to see this team play with Joel Embiid before the playoffs start. I need the chemistry to be built because I don't want Joel Embiid going into the playoffs with these new players and like, oh shit, we got to figure this out quickly because it's the playoffs and we're playing New York in the first round. I don't want that at all. So I understand meniscus injuries, they take a while to like heal up. He's getting operated on March 1st. But the sooner we get Joel Embiid back, and I don't want it to be rushed at all, but the sooner we get Joel Embiid back, the quicker we can get him ready for the playoffs. I'm not saying he needs to play 40 minutes a game. But the sooner we get him back, the more we can get him ready for the playoffs. And this team can actually find their identity. Because I love, as much as I love Tyrese Maxey, this team has no identity with Tyrese Maxey leading at the helm. I just don't see it. I don't see the vision, the identity of the 76ers without Joel Embiid. When you look at these teams that the Sixers are competing with, the Celtics have a much better roster than the 76ers. You look at the Sixers roster and you compare it to the Cavaliers. Brother, I know the Sixers beat the Cavaliers on Monday night, but the Cavaliers, you'd be lying to yourself if you said the Cavaliers don't have a better roster than the Philadelphia 76ers. The Milwaukee Bucks, 3-7 under Doc Rivers. They got a much better team than the Sixers do. Let's be real. They got a better team than the Cavaliers, in my opinion. And then the Knicks. Knicks got a lot of players injured. They're like the 76ers. Embiid's been out. Tobias Harris has been out. Nick Batum's been out. DeAnthony Melton's been out. Robert Covington's been out. Then you look at the Knicks. Bogdanovich has been out. Hartenstein's been out. OG Anunoby's out for a couple weeks. Julius Randle's out for a couple weeks. So both the Knicks and the Sixers are going through injuries right now. And I think that's the team that I think the Sixers match up well against if they had to meet in the playoffs. I would say the Sixers and the Knicks. The Sixers match well up with the Knicks if that's the team that they go up against come playoff time. And what actually also doesn't make me confident was Daryl Morey trading away key role players at the deadline. And I know I said I was going to make a video about the deadline, but I was just so unmotivated after the trade deadline. I didn't even want to talk about it. Trading away a young prospect who was never given a chance to your fucking rivals, the Boston Celtics, that's bad. Trading away a young prospect like Jaden Springer to the Boston Celtics was terrible. You had to do what you had to do to get Buddy Hield. Trade away Korkmaz. Trade away Marcus Morris. It is what it is. You released Daniel House Jr. to clear up cap space, to bring in Kyle Lowry, who's obviously washed. But the one that had me scratching my head was trading away Patrick Beverley. And Morey came out and said that the reason we traded away Pat Bev was because of the fact that he wasn't getting enough minutes of this on this team, and we wanted to trade him to a team that was going to give him those minutes. What? I'm sorry, but Patrick Beverley was the backup point guard for Tyrese Maxey. Whenever Tyrese Maxey didn't play, Patrick Beverley was the starter. Patrick Beverley was still getting decent minutes on that team. And he asked Daryl Morey before that game against the Denver Nuggets a couple weeks ago if he would get traded. And Morey said, no, not you. Of course not. And that was a terrible, terrible, terrible sign. And a terrible trade for the Sixers to trade away Patrick Beverley. And now you get Cam Payne. And I don't know how many minutes Cam Payne is going to play now that you got Kyle Lowry on this team. Cam Payne is your third point guard. I just thought there was so much wrong with that trade. But I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned going into the second half of the season, especially with this too. One last thing, and then I'm done. The Sixers have a very tough schedule to open up the second half of this season. This is their first 6 games to open up the second half of the season. Their first 3 games are home, but they are tough as nails. They play the Knicks, the Cavaliers. I'm going to that game Friday night. The Bucks, all at home. And those are 3 teams that the Sixers are competing with to get the highest seed possible going into the playoffs. Then you play the Boston Celtics on Tuesday night. You play the Charlotte Hornets on Friday night. You should be able to win that game. And then March 3rd, they play the Dallas Mavericks on the road. So you're looking at a possible 1-5 start to the second half of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I think things could get ugly fast. I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but I would not be shocked at all if this team, come April 1st, we're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers being a potential play-in team. I wouldn't be shocked about that at all. But I'm getting out. Those are my first half season reactions for the Sixers going into the second half. If I'm a Sixers fan, I would definitely be concerned right now. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Comment down below. If you're a Sixers fan, your thoughts. How do you think the Sixers are going to do going into the second half of the season? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button if you liked what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter, Colin_Joseph. I will see you guys in the next video, which is probably going to be Wednesday night. I imagine we will do Dynamite on Wednesday night. We will do Elimination Chamber predictions on Thursday. Friday, I'm going to the Sixers game, so I'm not going to be doing anything. And then Saturday, I don't know when, but we'll do an Elimination Chamber review. I'm probably not waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch Elimination Chamber. I'll probably watch it in the morning or afternoon and do a review after the show. So I'm out. I will see you guys Wednesday night. And as usual, stay classy. And I'm out. Peace. Go Sixers, baby.